Core concept number 6. This directly relates to growing your email list and unsubscribes. The amount of negative feedback, trolls, criticisms, and all of that not so good stuff will grow in proportion to the size of your email list. It's just a natural part of things. The bigger your email list, the more people you put yourself in front of, the more trolls you're going to get. That's just a natural part of things. You need to accept it. You need to not take the feedback personally. And when you do have trolls or negative feedback or people saying things that aren't exactly nice to read or hear, remember this: it's very rare, if not impossible, or never actually happening, that someone who trolls you to be in a better position than you are. People who troll always do it to people they perceive to be more successful than themselves. So the more trolls you have, the more successful you are. That's just a natural part of things. You'll also find that if you send regular emails, like a daily email, which I suggest, you will get people who tell you that you're sending too many emails and to them that you're spamming them and all of this stuff. Just a natural part of it. Just ignore them. Don't listen to a small minority that try to dictate what you do. Look at your list as an overall percentage. If you find that 10% of people on your list are saying you send too many, maybe you send too many, or you need to change the quality of your emails and change what you're actually sending them. But if you find that you get 20 emails in your inbox, which looks overwhelming, but your email list is 20,000, that's a very, very small percentage of people. It just looks big because your inbox is flooded. But if you actually consider the size of your list to start off with, it's such a tiny insignificant number. And that's exactly the same when it comes to trolls and people critiquing you as well. That you will get a small percentage of it, but it might look big because it's coming at you at once. But when you compare it to the actual size of your email list, it's so insignificant. So in scenarios like this, ignore them. View the amount of trolls and negativity that you receive as a sign that you are improving and becoming more successful. And always remember that it's going to increase in proportion to your list size and success. Concept number 7. This is to understand the purpose of your email list. So this is something that I used to argue about several years back when it comes to email marketing versus social media marketing. Back in my early days as a copywriter and email marketer, I used to think that email should be separate to social media marketing because people that did social media stuff was a direct competitor of me. And now I view things completely different. But I also think email is significantly superior to any other platform that you can market on, any other channel of communication. And the reason is because with an email list, you have control. An email list is nothing more than a list of names and contact information, nothing more than that. You collect the contact information and you use an autoresponder software like Aweber or ActiveCampaign in order to send your emails out to everyone on your email list. If you are strategic about this, you can back up your email list as a hard copy. You can put it in an Excel sheet. You can store it on a USB stick. You can constantly update it in a hard copy. So if one day your autoresponder decides to cancel you or decides that they are not going to allow you to send any emails again for having the wrong opinion or the wrong point of view, or because you support the wrong political candidate, then it doesn't matter because you can simply just take your list of contact information and upload it onto another autoresponder software, and you can continue to send the emails out as if nothing happened. It might be a massive drama for you if your autoresponder tries to block you, but your subscribers might not even know that anything happened. Compare this to if you are the same scenario on Facebook. If you rely on your Facebook group to generate business and suddenly your account gets blocked and you don't have access to your group, violating some term of service, which really means you have the wrong opinion or the wrong political view or whatever it is, or you don't align with Zuckerberg's worldview, your business cannot generate sales. You are relying on a third party platform which has consistently shown that it will happily ban people for having the wrong point of view, and they will actively ban people when the woke mob attacks them for something that was said on some video they recorded 10 years back, taken completely out of context. There you go, your account's banned. Good luck with your business. Which would you prefer to have, an email list or rely on Facebook? Same goes for YouTube and other social media platforms that you do not own. And what I would encourage you to do is look at what's happened over the last few years, and you can. There is evidence that social media platforms have colluded with governments in order to censor certain people, in order to shadow ban certain people and certain points of view. And what happens if, whether you align with the point of view that they have or not is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that they've done it once. They are potentially going to do it again. If the narrative changes and whatever it is that you do in your business suddenly becomes taboo, or some aspect of it is now being attacked in the media, your business is going to suffer. Whereas you have an email list, you have control. Okay, sure. With an email list, you cannot control if the email is going to go into the primary tab, promotions, or spam inside a Gmail account. That is something out of your control, and that is something that can be affected when you're sending email, and you can be shadow banned in that way. But at the same time, wouldn't you prefer to have a list of email addresses and names where the actual asset that you have is the relationship that you fostered, and you can essentially just upload it into a new autoresponder that won't cancel or ban you, and less bad things are going to happen. That's my point of view anyway, and that's why I would encourage people to have an email list and not to just rely on social media. So, those are the 7 core concepts about growing your email list that you should be aware of. A quick review. Not every list is equal. Your buyers and repeat buyers are more valuable than non buyers in many instances. List quality is more important than list size. Always start with the end goal in mind so you know how to grow your email list so you can achieve your goal. Unsubscribes are normal. You want to be constantly growing your email list so you add more subscribers than the unsubscribe rate. So your list is constantly getting bigger rather than getting smaller. You need to be aware that trolls and spam and negative comments are normal, and this increases in proportion to the size of your email list. And you also need to be aware that one of the main advantages of having an email list over social media or other third party platforms is your control. So let's go into the different ways that you can actually grow your email list. We'll start off by talking about what I believe to be the number one most important thing that you should always be aware of when you are actively growing your email list. And that is, you first need to have an end goal in mind. You need to know what the purpose of your email list is for. But what you also need to do is you need to understand the context of how someone joined your email list. You need to understand what they did before they exchange their contact information in order to join your email list. So, did they download a lead magnet on topic A? If so, you don't want to start sending them emails talking about topic B. Did they buy a book on topic B? If so, you don't want to send emails talking about topic A. You get the point. Did someone come from Facebook? Are you actively promoting your email list on Facebook and Instagram? If so, someone that uses Facebook and someone that uses Instagram, and probably different people, and the welcome sequence and the way that you send emails to them afterwards probably should be slightly different. Probably the most obvious example that I can give with this is typically someone that listens to long form podcasts are more likely to be a better high paying client to your business compared to someone that watches videos on TikTok. Makes sense, doesn't it? Someone who's investing their time into learning about a topic, into developing their skills, into personal and professional development through listening to a long form podcast is probably more serious about things than someone watching people do bizarre dances on TikTok, right? So therefore, if you can identify which people came from podcasts, they joined your list after listening to a podcast, compared to someone that watched a short video on TikTok or on YouTube, you can optimize the emails they get. You can apply better strategies in order to get the results that you want. So that's what I would tell you is the most important thing to consider when growing your list. Always be aware and understand the context in which they joined your list, and then use the welcome email and the welcome sequence and what happens next so that it aligns with why they joined. Again, just to really hammer home this point, if someone goes to a market and asks for apples, you don't want to sell them bananas because they want apples. If someone joins your email list because they downloaded a lead magnet, bought a front end offer, a low priced offer, bought a book on topic A, you want to send them emails that align with topic A and not on topic B. So this sounds obvious, but it's more difficult in practice, because you might have multiple lead magnets and multiple products and services, but the way around this is to have specific welcome sequences for each person that joins your list. And just to be aware of it, so just taking small action steps on, making sure everything is nicely aligned will pay off compared to not doing anything at all. So let's have a look. So way to grow your email list. Number 1, content marketing or social media marketing. So content marketing could be blogs, videos, podcasts, social media posts, various things. You create content, you post it on different platforms in different formats, ideally, and that's it. Most people would post on Instagram or post on Facebook or do post on Twitter and YouTube and different things, and they often forget to put a call to action in the description. What I would suggest you do is your call to action would be to get people to join your list or to sell a product or service or to do whatever it is. But every piece of content you create should have a call to action in place. And if you want to grow your email list, one of the call to actions in your content should be to join your email list. Now, easier said than done. You have to be strategic, because if you put the same call to action in every piece of content, it might get a bit boring and people might not be receptive to it anymore. You also need to make sure that you need to comply with the rules on individual platforms, because YouTube, for example, doesn't want you to take people away from YouTube's platform, because that is detrimental to their advertising. Likewise, Facebook, Instagram, and any other platform that you might use. So you need to find strategic ways to do this. So one way might be, if you record a video, inside the video itself, you can direct people to a URL or something where they can download some kind of a gift. You can be very creative when you do this. But again, I've seen people use competitions where they give away gifts or things. If people, but in order to be eligible to enter the competition, you need to. So you hear about a competition in the video, they tell you to go to a website where you're going to join the email list and answer a question and this and that, and they're going to announce the winner by email. It incentivizes people to join your list. However, the quality of the people on your list aren't going to be as high if all they want to do is join to get to potentially win a prize. You might get a lot of people join, but they might not be the highest quality. But you can then design a welcome sequence in order to sort of filter out the most qualified people and then give them more things or treat them in a better way or do whatever it is. And that's just one example. If you're a regular blogger and you guest post on multiple platforms, or you have a library of content on wherever it is, you just put a call to action in at the bottom. The call to action could be download a lead magnet. They download a lead magnet, they join your list. It could be to buy a book off your website. When they buy the book, they then enter the email, and then they're on the email list. So on YouTube, again, promote your stuff. Another way when it comes to content marketing and social media marketing is, if you look on YouTube, a lot of people on YouTube get paid by YouTube in order to host YouTube ads. One thing I would like you to consider is, rather than YouTube paying you to advertise on your content, you could simply just switch off for ads and run your own advertisements to sell your own products and services. Don't forget, people that are consuming your content on a regular basis, they like what you do. So why not just sponsor yourself and run your own advertisements to sell your products and services in the future? So that's content marketing and social media marketing. Key is produce a lot of content that's relevant, put it out into the world and have some kind of a call to action at the end of it. So second way to grow your list would be with a lead magnet. A lead magnet is something you would get for free in exchange for your email. This is very common, but at the time of recording, it's 2023. Realistically, lead magnets are sort of reducing in their effectiveness. However, the concept of a lead magnet is that you give away something for free in exchange for their email list and their contact information. Using a lead magnet is a good way to grow your list quickly. You will get a higher volume because it's free. People are typically happy to exchange an email list for some kind of a freebie. However, you also have to strongly consider the quality of the people that are going to join your list. There are strategies to optimize this process. One strategy would be that if someone downloads something for free, the funnel would typically look like this. You describe what the lead magnet is. Underneath is an opt-in. Once they give their email list, they go to a thank you page. On the thank you page, they can download it or they receive it in their welcome email. What you can do in a scenario like that is I would encourage you to add a second page into this funnel. So opt in here to get the lead magnet, then they get directed to a second page and then to the thank you page. On that second page, I would encourage you to create some kind of a deal of a lifetime offer. This would be, let's say you have a typical product on your shelf for $99. You could sell it for $7, but only if they buy it there and then. One-time offer, only available now. You make it super compelling with the discount. You add urgency by saying it's a one-time offer. You can only buy it now. And this is going to incentivize a certain number of people who are interested in it to actually buy. And you have instantly converted a non-buyer into a buyer. Now, why would you want to do this with a lead magnet? The reason is because if someone gets something for free, they don't attach much value to it. If someone doesn't attach much value to it, they aren't that bothered about it. I'm guilty of signing up for lead magnets when I'm doing different things because they seem interesting to me. I send them to the email list, which is not my main email list because I don't want my main email list that I use for business to be spammed. And I then forget about it and I don't sign into that email list for 3 weeks later. I'll forget about it. A lot of people are like that. They might use a disposable email or a fake email too, or these things. If you actually get some, say on the lead magnet, we'll send you this in the welcome email, you're going to be realistic and think, how many people are actually going to open the welcome email from a lead magnet? Not that. It's not going to be as high as you think. That is the purpose of putting this intermediary page where you can have this deal of a lifetime offer. Or if you don't want to put a deal of a lifetime offer, put something super, super compelling on there just to get people to know more about you and your brand and what you do, so as to instantly capture that attention and to get them interested. Personally, I'd like to put an offer there because, a buyer is more valuable than a non-buyer. You could put your front end offer there, which we'll talk about in the next section here. But essentially, if you can get someone who's just opted in to receive your lead magnet to then become a buyer, the simple act of making a transaction and making a payment, even if it's a small amount, makes you more invested in something. And therefore, if you bought something, you are going to go to your inbox to find out what you've just bought, right? Because you've just paid for it. And therefore, it makes them more likely to open the welcome email and consume your content in the future. So that's with lead magnet. What would make a good lead magnet? Well, find out what your followers want, your subscribers want, your target audience want. Find out the problems, the challenges, the obstacles that they have, find out the outcomes they want to achieve, and then create something as a way to solve it for them. You can put something in a multimedia format where it's text, video, written. You can create tools, checklists, blueprints, whatever you want to do. Package it all up nicely and present it in a way that's compelling to them. When you're promoting your lead magnet, tell your brand story, explain your mission, your vision, your why, your values, because this is the important stuff that gets people attracted to you anyway. And that's how to use a lead magnet. Number 3 is with a front-end offer or a book. This is something that I like to do. It's something that I like to do with clients. The concept is you advertise to a low-priced offer. This can be a $4.99 book or a low-priced video training program. And the first interaction that they have, the way they join their email list, is by becoming a customer. The way this works is you would have a sales page. Someone clicks the call to action button to buy now. They get transferred to another page where they put in their name and email address before they go to the checkout page. People that purchase will then automatically go onto your buyers list and receive your buyer's welcome sequence. People who put in their email address, go to the checkout page but do not buy, can then subsequently receive a pre-written abandoned cart sequence. After this, they go onto your non-buyers list. This one here is talking about people that join your buyers list. Someone that buys a book is more likely to become a repeat customer or client to your business than someone that did not. You can then design your welcome sequence based around what's in the book. You can design your welcome sequence based around achieving the goals that your book helps people achieve, or your video training program. You can design your welcome sequence to get people to consume it. If you have a high ticket offer, a premium offer, you have a service, you have group coaching or whatever, I'd encourage you to write a book. A marketing book doesn't need to be long. I've actually written a book showing you how to write a book quickly in sort of 2 weeks or so. But you can realistically get a marketing book done quickly and affordably, and that basically is used to promote your high ticket offer. A book gives you credibility, puts you as an authority. People that are authors and automatically viewed more as a more of an authority than someone that hasn't, and that has historical contexts too. And likewise, if you have a video training program, it can be based on your high ticket offer or whatever it is, and someone that's bought from you in the past are more likely to buy from you again. So if you remember one of the core concepts I spoke about earlier, where not every list is equal, someone that has bought a book or a low ticket offer from you, they've made that initial transaction. This list is more valuable than someone that downloaded your lead magnet. So if you have a high ticket offer, premium offer, I'd encourage you to follow that way. I'll talk more about paid versus organic marketing shortly, and a strategy that I've developed that you can use to offset advertising costs so you make more money than you spend on advertising to grow your list infinitely. So the next one way to grow your list is through affiliates or partnerships. I'll just describe a scenario so you can see how to apply this. You have contacts and you are aware of different brands in the same niche. You share a similar target audience, but you're not directly competitors. You're not directly competing with them. You could go onto their email list and you could host a free workshop. The other person, they promote your workshop to their email list. Their subscribers are going to attend your workshop. At the end of a workshop, you can get them to join your email list, which might be with a lead magnet, it might be with a low priced offer, it might be to become a client. And what that does there is you are basically advertising to people who are on other people's email lists. That's a good way to do things. You first need to make the contacts, you first need to build the relationships in order to do this with the right people. But when you do, you're going to build your email list quickly and more predictably. So with things like this, you might want to advertise, like run an advertisement to their target audience. You might want to advertise on their email list. You might want to advertise to their business, or you might want to negotiate some kind of a deal where you do a promotion or a workshop or some kind of thing to their target audience, and they get a percentage of the money that you make. But ultimately, all of these people are going to join your email list afterwards. The next one is you might have people join your email list if you're running ads, Google ads or some Facebook ads, whatever it is, to get people to book a call. So this would look like you have an ad, people click on the ad, they book a call, they either have the call or they don't. They either click on the ad, they have to put in their email and contact information first, and then they might not even click to book a call. So what the purpose here is, you are getting people who are interested in booking a call. People would need to book a call for a high priced offer. People have seen the ad, they have shown that they are interested in the outcome that your high ticket offer provides. You can then use these subscribers in order to generate more book calls in the future. What you'd need to do there is you'd need to have a follow-up sequence to people that did not book a call. What I use in this scenario with a client, and I'm having some level of success with, is the first 2 emails in the welcome sequence is going to be directly related to booking a call, reminding people why they wanted to book a call in the first place. You then might want to send 2 or 3 emails showcasing your best content, which positions you as an authority, as an expert, and then you might want to have another sort of final reminder to book a call afterwards. So that's another way you can get people to join your list. These people from this funnel are non-buyers. So if they don't book a call after the first week, you might want to then send emails trying to get them to buy your low-priced offer, or you would send daily emails getting them to book a call. The final one is related to affiliates and partnerships and joint ventures. So what you could do is you could become a guest on other people's podcasts. other people interview you and it's on their podcasts, or you interview them on your podcast or on their YouTube channel or Rumble channel or whatever it is. But basically, you get interviewed on someone else's channel, and then at the end of your interview or when you do it, typically they're going to say, so if anyone here is interested in what you've been talking about, what you have to offer, what you have to do, what can they do next? And then you say, oh, if you're interested, you can go here and do this and do that. And that's how you can direct people to join your email list. So again, this is exactly the sort of same as the ones above, the same context. You might want to direct people to a free lead magnet, but in this scenario, you make the free thing super valuable, super helpful. Needs to be related to what you spoke about on the podcast or video, of course. You might want to direct them to your book, your video training program. You might want to direct them to book a call. It depends on what the funnel is, what your end goal is, and what the purpose is. But that's another thing that you can do. So essentially, this would be along the lines of influencer marketing. You need to identify influencers with a similar target audience, and then you can negotiate deals with them for you to promote your email list to their target audience. This might be in the form of creating content like interviews or videos or different things, or you can pay them to advertise. There are 6 different ways to grow your email list. Quick review: your organic content marketing and social media marketing to your own followers, your videos, your social media posts, your blog posts, your podcasts, where you just promote your email list to them people. Having a free lead magnet as would get people onto your list. This would grow your list quickly, but the quality might not be there. Having a front end offer or a book where the people that join your main email list would be buyers. So the context that they join would be they have just bought something from you. Another one would be affiliates and partnerships, where you might host a workshop or a webinar or a masterclass or whatever it is to someone else's target audience. They benefit because you're creating content for them. You benefit because you can have a call to action at the end to join your list. You might have a funnel where you're directly running ads to book a call. People give their email list before they can schedule the call. Some people book a call, some people don't. You would send emails based on the behavior there. And finally, where you basically influencer marketing, where you can go onto other people's podcasts, you can create content for other people's channels, you can advertise to other people's lists, basically. So there are 6 ways to grow your list. So let's talk about now the difference between organic and paid advertising. So organic advertising is basically you are promoting it in your own content, you're not paying for it. Paid advertising is when you pay for advertising. So with the examples that I've just shown you on how to grow your list, they can be organic or they can be paid. So organic is easier and more beginner friendly, but it's also slower. You need to create content regularly. You need to promote your email list regularly, and that's how you do it. Over time, people are going to see your content, like what you do, and they're going to join your list. Paid advertising is faster, but it requires a lot more experience, and you need to have cash on hand in order to pay for the initial advertising budget. So, for example, there's an agency that I know. They charge, last I heard, was about $60,000 to build a funnel. They require $10,000 in advertising costs in order to make that funnel profitable. I know other people that would want an advertising budget of a few $1,000s. You need to be prepared to spend through all that money and not see any results, and just to collect data. So paid advertising is more difficult. Plus, there's a lot more tech involved and a lot more funnel and it's a lot more complicated to do paid advertising. But again, it is faster. And if we look at the ways to grow your email list that I mentioned before, your content marketing, you can organically do it where people are just going to see it. Your followers are going to see content and they're going to like it. You just create content more frequently to get more attention, or you can pay to have your content boosted so it's shown to more people. If you have a lead magnet, some influencers and businesses recommend running ads to your lead magnet in order to grow your list quickly. Other people don't suggest that. Personally, I wouldn't want to run ads to a free thing when you could run ads to something that people pay for. That's just me. Obviously, if you've got a book or a front end offer, you could be advertising your book or your front end offer in your YouTube videos for free, or you could run ads to it in order to get people to buy it. If you have partnerships, joint ventures, influencer marketing, you can pay them to advertise to their list, or you could negotiate deals where you provide value to their list. You get the point. So if you do paid advertising, I want to talk to you quickly about a concept called 4 upsells. This is a concept that I didn't create the concept. Basically, as you know, you stand on the shoulders of giants. It's a concept that I've seen used over and over again. I invested a significant amount of money at the time into a coaching program to teach me how to do these things. And this is just basically my take on this process. I like to call it 4 upsells. 4 upsells is a tool you can use when you are advertising your front end offer or your book. And the purpose is that you want to make the average order value, how much money you make per one transaction, that needs to be higher than how much you pay for advertising. If you pay $100 on advertising and you make $110 back per sale, you have a profit of $10. If that's the case, you can put more and more money into advertising because you are getting paid to sell your book or your front end offer. You are making a profit from it. That is the concept of 4 upsells. You want your average order value, the amount of money you make per transaction, to be greater than how much money you pay to make one sale. When you do that, you can basically scale your advertising. How do you do this? Different industries have different cost per sales. I think when I've been doing it with one client, I think the cost per sale was around $30 to $40. If you're in more competitive industries, it might be significantly higher, and all of this varies based on different platforms. Let's use $40 as a benchmark here for the sake of illustrating the point. If you're selling a $4.99 book and it costs you $40 to make one sale of $4.99, how do you make that viable? How do you lose $35 per sale? This is where most people get stuck. This is why most people stop selling their book. What you can do instead is you add a series of 4 upsells to the funnel, which basically give people the chance to buy. A certain percentage of people are going to buy each upsell. There are benchmarks to aim for. The total amount from all of these sales would then add up to more than the $40. The way to do this is you would put 2 order bumps on the checkout page. This is before someone makes the transaction. You can price these between $17 and $37. Typically with these, you might get about 20% conversion rate. If you're getting less than a 20% conversion rate, you need to either improve the offer or improve the copy. Once someone clicks pay, they then get directed to an upsell 1 page. This would be a higher priced offer, maybe $99, maybe $299. You might get a 10% conversion rate on something that's less than $100. You might get a 3% conversion rate on something that's $299. You'll get a lower percentage rate if it's a higher price. Upsell 2 would be something else that you have, and a certain typically I think 2 to 3% of people might buy upsell 2. So if you add all of this up, for every 100 people that buy your book at $4.99, 20 of those are going to buy each order bump 1, 20 will buy order bump 2, about 10 might buy upsell 1, and 2 or 3 might buy upsell 2. And then if you add the total amount you get from adding these series of upsells, this, when done correctly, would be higher than the amount you pay to make that one sale. And when you can apply this correctly, you can basically scale your advertising, because you spend $1,000 on ads today. It sounds like a lot of money, but if you're making back $1,100 in sales and that's deposited into your bank account on the same day, you can happily put your $1,000 in tomorrow as well and just repeat. So the key concept with this funnel I've just described, the 4 upsell funnel, is you want to be aware that the goal here isn't to make profit. The goal here is to offset the cost of advertising, so that you spend money on advertising today and you get money from sales, which is higher than the amount you paid on advertising, deposited into your bank account on the same day. So you always have the advertising budget for the next day, because it's been taken from account A for advertising. You pay for the advertising, and then in the evening, the money gets deposited into account B from the sales. And this is how you can continue to advertise and scale. The purpose of doing this is to grow your email list of buyers and to do it quickly. You then want to sell your other products and services to people that have bought your front end offer. That's how you make the money. If you have a premium offer, a typical statistic you might hear is about 1 to 2% of people that buy your book or front end offer would buy your premium offer, providing they are directly aligned and related. So let's say 1 in 100 people would buy your $5,000 offer. This is where you make the money. Because you're growing your email list of buyers and you're getting paid to do it, 1 in 100 people are then going to buy your $5,000, $10,000 offer, and that's where the real profit's made. That's the concept of 4 upsells. If you'd like to know more about 4 upsells, I've actually written a book on it, and I have a video training program showing you exactly how to do it. You'll find the details in the description below. So that's it. Those are some effective ways to grow your email list. We've spoke about the different core concepts that you need to be aware of when growing your email list. We've talked about different ways that you can grow your email list. We've talked about the difference between paid and organic advertising. And if you're going to run paid advertising, I've just spoke about how you can apply 4 upsells to make the cost of advertising irrelevant, so you can quickly scale your advertising on a day-to-day basis, because money gets taken out your account for advertising on Monday, but more money than you paid for advertising gets deposited into your bank account from sales on the same day, and you can just repeat. So if you'd like any help with anything that you've heard in this workshop, if you like help growing your email list or applying a daily email strategy so you can get the absolute maximum value and profitability from the people that are on your email list, or if you'd like to discuss ways that we can apply a 4 upsell framework to your funnels so you can offset the cost of advertising and generate far more sales in the future, I'd be more than happy to help. You can find a way to contact me in the description below. That's all for today. See you in the next video.